Hello guys, welcome to the video. So today I have something a little bit special for you because I have some evidence of what is being taught in British schools, and this is actually my most requested video to date. I always get emails and messages from people saying, please can you make a video about what they're teaching kids in schools, how they're brainwashing children, how they're lying to children, how they're influencing children. And it's been difficult to make a video like that because unless you're actually on the inside and you're hearing what the teachers are saying and you're looking at the textbooks and stuff, there isn't actually that much evidence out there. However, last week I was contacted by a student who is a subscriber of my YouTube channel, and he watches my videos and he enjoys them, and he said the things that they're teaching me in my school it's just absolutely terrible. So I'm going to send you a load of pictures of my textbooks. I'm going to tell you a lot of stuff that they've said to us, and I want you to make it into a video. And of course I said yes, let's do it. Now, even though the student in question is very articulate and he seems very intelligent and he is totally clued up on what's going on, we have to remember that this student is legally a child. So he's 15 years old, so we have to be a little bit careful there. So obviously it's fine for children to share their opinions, they're allowed YouTube channels and things like that. Greta Thunberg, for example, when it comes to climate change, she's a child and her opinions are put out there, but I just want to be very careful about the way that we present this conversation. So what I've decided to do is I'm just going to show you our entire conversation from start to finish, and I'm going to read out my parts of the conversation. This was a written conversation, by the way, and I have chosen a male friend who is an adult to read out the boy's part of the conversation. So the boy will not be involved in this at all because I do not want to put him at risk. You know, there's security concerns, there's privacy concerns. I don't want him to get in trouble at school. So what you're about to see is a dialogue between me and a male friend, but this is word for word the conversation that I had with the student. So let's begin. So can you remind me about what you sent me? I have some more free time now.
I asked if you were planning to make a video about political agendas in schools. I said I could send you examples from GCSE textbooks as well as my own personal experiences of the agenda pushed in schools.
Do you go to a state school?
Yes, I do.
Everybody keeps asking me to make a video about this. What's your rough location, please? Oh, is it bad stuff that they teach you then?
I think it's a really important issue as it's pretty aggressive agenda pushing, especially in my school. The quality of education in my school is actually good. However, there's a very clear agenda pushed in many lessons and almost all assemblies. Some of it is curricular and some is teachers pushing their own agendas. Assembly is the worst one. In my school assemblies we've been given assemblies about how Britain is a nation of immigrants, saying that demographics aren't changing and that there's no such thing as an indigenous Brit. This video was shown where they show photos from the 1970s as historical proof that Britain is a nation of immigrants. It really got on my nerves.
In general, we could say that large numbers of migrants came in the post-war period, and that was as a result of very definite, what people normally call push and pull factors. There were some things which pulled people to Britain. One was the need to rebuild Britain's economy after the devastation of the Second World War. And so there was active recruitment by government departments, by other significant employers, the National Health Service, those involved in transport, to encourage people from particularly the Caribbean, India, parts of Africa, to come to Britain in the period, let's say after 1948. We could say Britain is a country of migrants. You know, the Angles and Saxons were migrants, the Romans were migrants, the Normans were migrants, the Huguenots were migrants, the Irish who came to this country were migrants. All of these people have been migrants. This is the nature of Britain. who actually is Indigenous is quite a complex question.
Another really bad assembly was on St George's Day, where our head teacher gave an assembly debunking reasons why we should be proud to be English, and told us why we should be ashamed to be English. He gave reasons like the British Empire and slavery. Most recently we had an assembly given by an Extinction Rebellion protester who told us we need to overthrow the capitalist far-right government, otherwise civilization would end because of climate change. Our school also celebrates Black History Month and LGBT Pride Month in assemblies. In my PSHE lessons last year, we had lessons saying that Shamima Begum should be allowed to come back to the UK. We were shown photos of refugees and told that all immigrants should be allowed back into the country and then be checked for criminal records and safety checks, etc. We also had PSHE lessons about racial profiling. In English, we had to watch videos explaining why Karl Marx is great and why we should accept his ideas. The curriculum is also bad, which I can provide examples from textbooks if you ever make a video on this topic. From Zoom Dutch 1, a textbook for Year 7s. From the official Citizenship GCSE textbook. You probably already know about this, but BBC Teach have some videos like this too.
How did you avoid the brainwashing?
I watched your video when it came up in my recommended. I think it was "I'm so bored of your victimhood" or something like that, and then watched all your videos and couldn't disagree with anything you said. My mum is aware as well of what's happening with immigration, etc. I hope all of this is useful if you want to make a video on this topic.
And there's also the Make Your Mark thing.
Oh yeah. Make Your Mark is when students in every state secondary school in England and Wales can vote on 3 issues of a selected 10 options of issues that they want their Member of Youth Parliament to discuss. I am one of the youth councillors. I'll send you a screenshot of this year's options. The Curriculum to Prepare Us for Life option would include lessons on LGBT education, lessons on racism, etc., as well as first aid and sex education.
This is so bad, it's brainwashing. Notice how they haven't given you a percentage of how many immigrants were in the country. It's because it was only a couple of percent. Mass immigration didn't start until 1948.
I know the teachers, well, most of them, are even worse than the curriculum. I've been taught in lessons that it's an objective fact that Trump is racist. In one of my lessons, Trump has been compared to Hitler. I've watched a Channel 4 video in English about how Brexit didn't get anywhere near a majority, and about the dangers of populism, all of this in the last month or so. The worst thing is, it's in almost every subject, even the language subjects. There's also a lot of posters around the school saying things like, "Diversity is the one thing we all have in common, celebrate it every day." I don't even understand what that one means. This is an essay question from the 2019 GCSE citizenship test. Our school also has an LGBT inclusive corridor with a large LGBT flag on it, with a poster of the gingerbread person.
Genderbread, lol.
The title translates to Normalising Homosexuality and Transgenderism in the Modern World, an official AS level Spanish textbook. Gay Marriage and Transgenderism, another Spanish AS level official textbook. It's all pretty biased.
How did you answer this one?
I just went along with the question, to be honest, because I didn't want to lose marks. I just said it promotes community cohesion.
I can't believe how many lies they're teaching you. I can debunk all of this stuff very easily.
I know, right? The teachers have also argued with students before in some of my lessons who question it. For example, a few years ago in Year 7 Geography, we were taught about immigration and one boy asked the teacher why there were so many immigrants and why can't they stay in their own country, and the teacher argued with him and told him off. My brother's school, he's in Year 7, also had speakers in assemblies talk about LGBT issues and lesbianism. There's so many examples of stuff like this from our schools. I can't remember a lot of them. It's really frustrating because you can see them teaching lies as fact, but for the sake of your education you just have to accept it. It really gets on my nerves, especially in assemblies.
How many of your classmates understand what's going on?
1. 2 of you include me, at least that I know of. Obviously I haven't spoken to many about this kind of thing.
So do you think most people believe it all?
It's honestly hard to tell. When it comes to the immigration side of things we're taught, you can see that most students take it at face value, including the white British students. My school is about 60% white British, by the way. But you can see that sometimes, for example, when there's new immigrant children on the bus from other schools causing fights, etc. For example, when one of my lessons we covered demographics and learned that London is 41% BAME, that a lot of students can see at least to some degree what's going on, and you can see they're uncomfortable about it, but they're too scared to say anything. When it comes to the LGBT and climate change stuff, especially the more hardcore like Extinction Rebellion and transgender, the vast majority of the male students know it's crap and make fun of it, but a lot of the female students buy into it all.
I see. I'm fuming they're teaching you all this. We need a complete overhaul of the education system. Did you see We Were Never Asked?
Yes, I thought it was great.
Thanks. So most people don't want these levels of immigration. We are the majority.
Yeah, I know it's encouraging, but I already knew that most people are against it. It is obvious to me. My city was % white British in the last census, and groups like UKIP, Nigel Farage and even the BNP have been popular here in the past, and my city voted almost by a landslide for Brexit, so where I live it's pretty clear that most are against it. Me and my brother talk about the assemblies and stuff from school lots, and we see right through it, so hopefully other students see through it as well, but I'm not sure.
Maybe they are staying quiet like you.
Yeah, hopefully.
I was hoping your generation might be more based than the liberal 20-somethings we see now.
I feel like they could be in the future, and I think many silently see through it, but I feel like though unfortunately people my age just don't care.
All this stuff you've sent me is such a black pill. I knew our education system was bad, but I didn't think it was this bad.
The girls in my generation are probably more liberal than the millennial, but I think for the guys my age it's much more likely to disagree with the political pushing. Yeah, it's pretty bad in terms of secondary schools.
Thanks for talking to me. If you think of anything else, please send it over. And if I think of any questions, I'll send them your way if that's okay. I can put all this into a video and get a guy friend to narrate your part. I won't mention your name or location.
Yes, that's fine. Thanks for listening and thanks for not mentioning my name or location. I really appreciate it. Let me know when the video goes up here. I've also got another couple of examples from personal experience, such as assembly I had a couple of weeks ago, where we were told we are all immigrants and we're all mixed race and there's no such thing as ethnically British. There's also an LGBT club promoted to all students including Year 7s, as well as the Equality and Diversity Club. I've also had an assembly a few weeks ago about how it's racist to ask someone where they're from and that English identity is no longer relevant in modern Britain. My brother also had an RE lesson where they had homework, which was the task of writing about the benefits of converting to Islam.